Hey you guys, it's Keoshia and welcome back to another Savvy Saturdays. Alright you guys, as you can tell from the title of this video, we are talking about busting our budgets. You guys, it is only the 16th of April and your girl has busted her budget out of this world, out of this state, out of this country. Do you hear me? I have spent so much money in the month of April and we are only 2 weeks in. So what do you do when you fall into this situation? You guys know I'm pretty much an experienced budgeter now, but I don't always follow my budget according to plan and sometimes things go wrong. So we're just going to talk about how you can reset your budget once you have gone over budget or blown your budget or just didn't quite stick to the plan. So if you want to see how to correct your budget after you blow it, just keep on watching. All right, you guys. So everybody's not perfect. Let's just start out with that. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. We try our hardest to stick to the plan that we set in place for ourselves. And sometimes it works out for us and sometimes it doesn't. You can do good 99% of the time, but there's always that 1% that seems to catch you, right? So I am at that 1%. This month has just been very stressful at work and not enjoyable as I would like it to be. And I feel like I splurged on myself and went a little bit too far at trying to make myself feel better or do things that took my mind away from work. Because like I said, sometimes things are stressful. Some people are stressful spenders, emotional spenders, and all those things in between. And some spending is just necessary. It was an emergency. Your car broke down. You needed to help a friend. You need to help your mom. You forgot about a bill. Whatever the case may be, you have gone over budget, and now what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do when you go over budget? So the first thing you need to do is assess the damage, okay? What do I mean by assessing the damage? Figure out how much you went over budget. You need to find out what your budget was supposed to be and where you are currently at in your budget. So I am 2 weeks in and I'm about $600 over budget, you guys, and it is climbing. Yes, it is. So by the time at the end of the month, I could be almost near $1,000 over budget. And at this point, I can only wait to the end of the month and see what my total numbers are and go from there. Now, when I say assess the damage, you have a couple of options. You can assess the damage at the moment that you find out that you go over budget, and you can try to stop it in its tracks. You can say, okay, I'm over budget this month. What can I cut out? I'm not going anywhere else. I'm not spending any more money. This is it. This is the chopping block. This is what I'm going to do. But sometimes you don't have that option, especially if it was an emergency and you don't have your emergency fund quite set up yet and you only had so much money, you needed to use more money, and now you're over budget. Sometimes you have to keep spending because you have groceries, you have bills, you have house notes, you got to get gas because you got to get to work. So sometimes it's not the option to stop the overspending in its track because other things are priority even though you've already spent the money. And at this point, you're in the red, okay? You're no longer in the black. You're no longer living it up. You're in the red. You're in the negative. You're behind and you need to catch back up. So once you decide which person you are, can you stop it in its tracks, or do you have to continue going into the end of the month and just be able to assess the damage as a whole and take it from there? So in the instance that I am right now, I can stop mine in the tracks, but to be honest, I just choose not to. I have a lot of things planned for this month that I need to do, I have to do, so I'm just going to have to be over budget and we're just going to assess it later. If I was at a point where I had no more plans for the month or certain things that need to pay for it, then I would stop it in its tracks. But in this case, I can't, you know. Okay, so the next thing you may need to do is revise your goals. Figure out, why did you go over budget? What happened? What happened to cause you to spend more money than you intended to? Was it emotional spending, emotional shopping, whatever the case may be, going out with friends, just being frivolous, just want to have a good time in life? Or was it something like an emergency? Your car broke down, you had to pay for it, but you still needed gas and groceries and all this kind of stuff. Now, if you find that you're going over budget because you're not realistic with your budget, then you might need to rework your budget. For instance, if you went over in dining out, but your dining out budget for the month was only $25 for 30 days, did you really think that $25 would sustain you to the end of the month if you're a person who likes to eat? Now, if you're not a person who likes to eat out, and you always eat out at home and you figure out a way not to go out, completely fine. But if you find month after month after month that you're going over in your eating out budget because you like to eat out with your friends and have a good time, then it's time to be realistic and give yourself more money in the eating out field, and maybe take away from a field that you don't necessarily use a lot. For instance, you may not use a lot of personal spending. You might not like shop for clothes and this and that. You like to eat out. So just dedicate all your money to eating out, and then minimize or reduce the budget for your personal spending or clothing fund, or whatever the case may be, or whatever fund you choose to, that you have more money than you need because you're not using it on a regular basis. Then reduce that one and up another budget. Now, if you're having issues where emergencies keep coming up and that is causing you to go over your budget, then you need to stop saving for everything else and you need to save for the emergency fund, because clearly your emergency comes out once every week, once every month on a regular basis, and you're not able to keep up because you don't have enough money. So you need to start out with your emergency fund. You need to get you some emergency fund ASAP. Whether it's $1,000 is what some people recommend, but it's different for everybody depending on, you know, if you have kids, a husband, all these types of things going on. You may need to up your emergency fund for more than $1,000. At this moment, my emergency fund is $5,500 at this moment, and that's more than enough to get me through whatever type of major emergency that can happen in my life. Me overspending this month has not been a major emergency. It just is what it is. Like I said, I will always keep it honest with you guys on this channel. I spent money. I went shopping. I went out to eat. I had a good time, and I'm not ashamed, and I don't care. It is what it is. I'm going to assess my damage at the end of the month, and we're going to keep it moving. And the reason why I can say that I don't care and I'm not really taking it nonchalant is because I don't do it all the time. And it's something that I obviously needed, that I was depriving myself of. Sometimes you go over your budget because you're depriving yourself. And this is where you go and reassess your goals. So my goal this year is to save. And I said I wasn't going to spend anything. I wasn't going on any trips. I wasn't doing this and I wasn't doing that. And I come to realize that I need those things in my life. I need to feel like I am doing good, so therefore I shall be rewarded. And so I was restricting myself from rewarding myself, and look what happened. Now I'm hundreds of dollars over my budget. So hopefully we won't get to $1,000, but I'm hundreds of dollars over my budget for sure. And so in the future, I'm going to have to stop depriving myself. I may have to up my personal budget, my sinking fund. I don't know, but we need to regroup and rethink, okay? And so I know why I went over budget this month is because I was depriving myself from the things that I love to do just for the sake of saving money. And I did save lots of money, but now look at me. Now I'm over budget, and the money I save is going to have to go to how much ever money I'm over budget. So it's not really a balance. I need a balance in saving versus me wanting to do stuff. And once one gets out of whack, it's not really productive, if you can see what I'm saying. Okay, and so the last thing is more of a mental thing. So a lot of people feel that when they blow their budget, just screw it all. I'm not budgeting no more. It's not for me. It ain't working out. I do good 10 times and fail 5 and all that type of stuff. And a lot of people have that mentality. So when you go into budgeting, you have to have room for mistakes. You have to have room to say that you are human, that you are never going to be perfect. Everything is not going to always work out the way you want it to. Your plan is never going to go as you think it should. You're going to fail, and you're going to try and try some more, and you're going to fail some more, and you're going to see some more. And you have to have that mindset when you go into budgeting, that I am not going to succeed 100% of the time. But do not use it as an excuse to just blow your budget and just say, I'm not going to do a budget. It is what it is. If I have money, I have money. If I don't, I don't. You're never going to better yourself that way. You're never going to have financial freedom if you do that. So you have to get in the mindset of, don't let the blown budget just ruin your finances altogether. Don't let it ruin your future or your kids' future or whomever's future who's depending on you. Because sometimes when you blow your budget and you decide to say forget it, it doesn't just affect you, it affects other people sometimes, and you have to think about them, and it can affect your life in the long term. You may start feeling, you know, down and depressed because all your friends are going out but you never have any money, or your kids always want you to help them buy something or play sports or go here or do this, and you never have any money. Believe me, I completely understand. I have 2 kids, and before I started budgeting, I was stretched so thin that I wanted to give up so many times, but I had to have the mindset, okay, Keoshia, you're gonna mess up. It's not always gonna work out for your life, but you have to do better for yourself first and for whomever later. You have to find that balance, and you have to make sure that whatever you're doing doesn't ruin your financial future. So don't let you blowing a budget 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. Just because you blow it 3 months in a row doesn't mean you can't start over in the 4th month, or you can't reassess in the 5th month or the 6th month. And you say it's 12 months in a year, and out of them 12 months you did 6 months good and 6 months bad. That's better than doing 12 months bad, right? So you have to look at the light at the end of the tunnel. I know it's easier said than done, but I have been through it. I promise you guys. If you go look back at my old budgeting videos, I kind of walk you guys through my thought process, what I'm doing, how I was feeling, and you will see that I've been there, done that, and you can make it out. You just have to have that mindset. You have to start with mind. Everything that you want to do in life, anything that you can do in life, starts with your mindset. Stop listening to the naysayers. Stop listening to people tell you can't do it. You're not good enough. You're not this. You're not that. Sorry to get to preaching to y'all, but that takes into account a lot of things. Why people don't do a lot of things is what other people say. Stop listening to other people. Are they helping you pay your bills? Are they helping you get out of debt? Are they giving you money? Are they paying anything? Okay, well then they don't exist. Their opinion does not matter. You know why? Because they're not involved in the situation and they're not helping you better your life. So why should they have an opinion? I'm just keeping it real here. I know I'm winning to the preach here. I'm gonna stop right now. So that's basically how you get back on track when you blow your budget. I know you guys probably thought, Keoshia, I thought it was just so much more than that. Why? It just seems like the most simple thing. It's simple. Most of this stuff is super simple, and I'm not going to give you any more information just because I can. This is all the information you need to get back on your budget. It sounds like 3 little things, really, Keoshia. That's it. It's that simple. I'm telling you guys, it's that simple. It's not complicated. This process is not complicated. Don't make it complicated. Keep it as simple as possible, okay? So I'm gonna stop talking before I be talking forever. But if you guys enjoyed today's Savvy Saturday, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you turn on that notification bell so you don't miss any more videos from me. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.